G'day viewers, Cool here, sharing with you plans for something unusual I plan to build. Well, unusual for Australia I suppose, not so unusual for the Northern Hemisphere, US, Canada and Europe. I've seen a few of these. So I'm building a Tesla that's, I guess, not so normal in Australia, but I guess I have seen a few overseas, which is where I got the idea. So Tesla Model 3. Reasonably performance orientated, but basically a standard four-door sedan, which is nice. They go great performance, but I'm finding a little bit too close to the ground. Model Y is great. They're about 2 inches higher off the ground, more ground clearance, but they're really uncomfortable as far as they're a very hard ride. I know they did have a suspension upgrade in 2023, and the later Model Ys are better, but they're still not as good as the Model 3. And the Model 3 Highlander is a different game changer altogether. Really good suspension. Mine is the 2021, which was a newer version that came out from the previous model. So nice suspension all round, but still a little bit too hard, a bit too rigid with the 19-inch wheels. This is the long range all-wheel drive 2-motor model. As we own this car, we thought, changing it to a Model Y and tinkering the suspension, we'd just lose too much money for not much gain. Don't need an SUV, have no point, too big for us. So we thought about options and started investigating and found a few solutions that are just going to suit us really well. So not big bucks options, but will make a lot of sense and be able to modify our Tesla Model 3 to do exactly what we need to do. So here's what the project is. The project is called Project EB. So we've got EV for electric vehicle and EB for electric beast. So here we are, video one of I don't know how many, because I don't know how many I'm going to make. So I'll go through what's going to happen. So we've got a lift kit coming. The lift kit's here already. I'll show you in a second what that looks like. That's going to be installed this Wednesday, the 2nd of October 2024. Yesterday I received another part of the Project EB, so that was from Enhanced Audios. You can look them up online, and that is a part called Sexy Knob. So I've received my Sexy Knob. Yes, that's actually the name, and that is installed now. I put that in yesterday, so here that is here, there's a whole bunch of functionality that adds to the car, which is really, really cool, and you can fully customize this to do whatever you like. But the reason I bought it is for this off-road mode, which I won't go into at the moment because the car's plugged in. What is off-road mode? Well, the Tesla Model Y has this already, but the Model 3 doesn't have it, which is dumb because it's in the software, but because they say, oh, you're Model 3, you can't have it, you're locked out of it. Sexy Knob unlocks that, or Sexy Buttons. They've got the buttons as well, which I've installed on the back of the steering wheel here, one on either side. I've got a couple of bonuses thrown in for September. If you buy it before September, you get some Sexy Buttons thrown in pretty much for nothing, and t-shirt and stuff. It's great. I digress. So I did some research online. I found on YouTube there from Enhanced Audio just this review on what off-road mode is. So for those that do some four-wheel driving, and I've had many four-wheel drives over the years, it's the equivalent of a central diff lock. So whilst this is the dual motor four-wheel drive version, for want of a better term, what off-road mode does, and the pure reason I bought the Sexy Knob, is to install that, and when I am playing off-road in mud and snow, etc., as we do, I can engage that, and when things get really a little bit messy, particularly on inclines in snow and stuff, when it's just you're not making any headway, you can engage that and get a good 50-50 split from front to rear motors, instead of being mostly the rear and some of the front, and just watching the load go front to back, watching the brakes grab the ABS and all that sort of stuff. So that's purely the reason I bought it. But having tinkered with the Sexy Knob and the Sexy Buttons now, so much functionality, this is very cool and I like it a lot. It's added a lot of functionality to the car. Some of my pet peeves, where I live here, I'll pan around a second, you go through the mountains and it's twisty corners to get in or out of here. There's no other way, and dropping down through, we go through the Black Spur to get here in Marysville, Victoria, Australia, going through the black spur. Half the year it's a bit of humidity, and when it's cold, you drop down from Dom Saddle into Nabathong, and the window just frosts up. Doesn't matter how clear it is, it just fogs up. It just, you know, trying to get through the defrost in the screen, like where is it with this software update, where is it this time? It's so frustrating trying to find it. I've just allocated one button press, boof, you know, full on defrost. It's great. So many other features I've done like that one button touch now. It's just really cool. Anyway, that's sexy knob and sexy buttons. Next thing is the lift kit. So the ground clearance on this thing is just, you know, it is what it is. It's just a Model 3. That's the way it comes. However, lifting the body off to get a couple of inches more clearance here, that's what we're going to be going for first. Of course, living regional, we tow, doesn't everybody? And then this coming Wednesday, we're going to install 2-inch lift kit. Not unboxing just yet. I'm going to give it to my mechanic the way it is. So, Mountain Pass Performance, fantastic. They're in Canada, I believe. Look them up. Mountain Pass Performance. They do lowering kits, but they also do lift kits for all things Tesla. So check them out. So we've got the lift kit here, and also the rear control arms. When you lift it so far, the camber goes out a bit, so you need adjustable control arms so that you can do the get the camber right again, which is great. I've got to do the fork oil on the Harley. That's another day project. Anyway, so once that has been installed on Wednesday, I'll have about the same ground clearance as a Model Y, which will be very cool. However, the project doesn't stop there. After that, later in October, the EB project continues with new wheels, because then I'll have a lot more gap. Here, the gap will be quite sufficient then to squeeze in a lot more rubber, and front and back will be able to handle it as well. So we'll be going on a search. These are 19-inch wheels. These also come factory with 18s. And so I'll be looking, I've done some research, you can go down to a 17 if you do a bit of tweaking with the banjo bolts on the back brakes. So I'll be having a look at a tinker with those and see what we can get that sorted, and looking to go down to a 17 if I can. Why, I hear you ask? Well, because of the ride is a little bit firm and stiff, going down to the smaller rim will allow us to get a lot more rubber. And I'll be able to go up to a lot higher profile, so that will allow us to get a higher profile tyre, a lot more rubber width, a lot more rubber here between myself and the road, so trying to get a lot more rubber height in there, a lot more, I guess, air and sidewall cushiness, suck up the bumps better. If I can, instead of having your factory default 42 pounds per square inch, maybe see if I can find something to run more comfortably around the 38 to 37, see how that goes. And that will also give me the extra profiles that I've been looking at for a 27.5 inch outside diameter, will give me 1 inch ground clearance on top of that again. So that'll give me basically 1 inch ground clearance more than a Model Y. So this is why I didn't sell it and buy a Model Y, because lose too much money. Don't want a Model Y, but I'll be able to custom make this to be exactly the way I want it for just a few grand, considering how much I have to lose to get a Model Y, which I don't want in the first place. So that's Project EB started already. Sexy knobs are in, Mountain Pass lift kit is here, and I'll be able to resume driving the tracks around here where I used to in my beloved little Subaru XV, which is known as a Crosstrek for the overseas market, around here where I live, and enjoying the bush, getting out doing the tracks, and in winter hitting the snow and enjoying the place as it is. Anyway, until the next video, thanks for tuning in. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll show you the measurements before and after with the tape measure, and see how it comes up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've only seen one person in Australia that's bought a Mountain Pass lift kit on YouTube, but they didn't do any afters. They showed the unboxing of it, but they didn't show any pictures of anything installed, so I don't know if they actually installed it or not. But we'll show you all that after next Wednesday when we put it in. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. See ya.